Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a very interesting theory regarding the Ninjago 2023 series and the Bone King from this new wave of Ninjago core. Now, we've discussed in previous videos how the new core sets may in fact relate to the 2023 series. Thanks to Ninjago Crystallize, we know that Ninjago core coming into contact with the main series is not impossible, meaning that a lot of content in these new core sets could translate over to the new show in some way, shape, or form. And that includes the new villains, the Bone King and his Bone Warriors. In case you guys have not seen the Bone King and the Bone Warriors, I will be leaving a link to those pictures down below in the description. I still cannot show them in the video as of the time of recording this video because they are technically still leaks. Now, the Bone King, if he does appear in the Ninjago series, I'm very curious to see what they do with him. Are they going to make him some type of brand new villain, or could he be a returning foe that the ninja had faced a long time ago? Usually whenever we get a new villain reveal, it's always fun to speculate who they could really be deep down. In fact, I was kind of theorizing about who I think the Bone King could be if they were to reveal him to be a returning villain. And of course, judging by the thumbnail, I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. That of course being Clouse from Ninjago Season 4 and other things. Clouse is what's known as a loose end villain. Ninjago actually has a couple of those throughout its lore. Villains that have disappeared with their fates ultimately unknown that could still return at some point in the future. But with Clouse, I think the Bone King identity would make a little bit more sense. The last time we saw Clouse was actually in the Dark Island trilogy, a canon group of Ninjago comics taking place after Skybound but before Day of the Departed. And you guessed it, Clouse was the main villain of this storyline. At the very end of the story's conclusion, Clouse was banished to the underworld, of course the home of the Skulkin army. And what do you know, these new villains are bone themed or skeleton themed in nature. They're not really Skulkin though, if anything they appear to be some type of skeleton worshippers, but I think for the sake of this theory it's close enough. And in terms of the Bone King himself, could that actually be Clouse? When you look at the Bone King, it kind of looks like it could be. For example, the Bone King's primary color is red, and what do you know, so was Clouse's primary color. It was kind of a combination of red and purple. I would argue that red was more so Clouse's color though. And when you take a look at the Bone King, his face does look a little bit pale behind that skull mask. And yes, I'm going to call it a skull mask because it doesn't really look like he's a skeleton by nature. Instead, it looks more like he's wearing a skull mask. And once again, if I could show the images in this video, that would be a lot easier to express my point, but once again, the pictures are down below in the description. Not only that, but the face behind the skull mask is also rather pale looking, very similar in color to Clouse's face from when he was a ghost. Now because of this, because of the primary color of the Bone King being red like Clouse's color, the Bone King having similar color skin like Clouse in his ghost form, and of course the Bone King being based off of skeletons who live in the underworld where Clouse was last seen, could this realistically be Clouse? I think if they decide to bring this Bone King into the Ninjago TV series, I think there's a strong possibility that it might be Clouse in disguise. What's more likely to happen though is kind of disappointing, but it's the reality that we will most likely see. What's probably going to happen is that the Bone King and his minions will probably not be appearing in the show at all, and for the sake of Ninjago core, they are just random grunts, nothing more, nothing less. Which I do think is disappointing, but like I said, that's kind of the reality of the situation here. At least based off of previous patterns, that's almost certainly what's going to happen. But if they were to bring Ninjago core stuff into the show like they did with Crystallized, and if the Bone King and his minions are going to be a part of that, why not make the Bone King Clouse? But until we actually see some type of solid evidence that's not just a long list of coincidences, I'm not really sure what's going to be happening with this entire situation. And with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here, but feel free to leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think about the Bone King, and could he secretly be Clouse in disguise? What do you think about the coincidences? Do they line up? Why or why not? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Thanks a lot for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again really soon. Peace.